I was thinking about this just a couple of minutes ago when you mentioned Bob Backlund and we were talking about Mabel, and I was thinking, Kevin Nash, 1995, you were there, WWF in
Yeah.
1995. Has there ever been a long-term champion who it just feels like they're trying to just give one crappy opponent after another just to make sure just to make sure it's like one of the worst world title reigns ever? Because I'm just looking here, and aside from Brett and aside from Jeff Jarrett, here are some of the people over the year that Diesel had long-term house show feuds and pay-per-view matches with. Bob Backlund in 95, for one. And God love Bob Backlund. He wasn't very good in the ring at that time. King Kong Bundy in 1995. Let me have a look. I know Sid, he wrestled quite a lot, which is rare, fairly similar styles. Kama Mustafa, which is the Godfather. Mabel quite a few times. Tatanka on pay-per-view. It's like they just... Erwin R. Shyster. I'm trying to have a look at all the people. Waylon Mercy, for criminy sake. Yokozuna, he had an extended house show run with in 1995 when he was about 600 pounds at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having a look around. It's like the Bulldog, and I love the Bulldog, but him and Kevin Nash did not work at all. And I'm just looking at here and thinking, poor Diesel, poor Kevin Nash.
Yeah, when you book a guy, you got to look at his. Not only do you have to look at him, you have to look at his opponents, because they will become one, and you got to think about what kind of chemistry they'll have together. Most of those names you read me, chemistry didn't pop. Didn't pop at all. If you'd have thrown The Rock in there somewhere, oh, that's something.
Well, you weren't even in the business at that point.
Well, but somebody like The Rock is what I'm saying. And maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was in the business, wasn't time for him. But wrestling has always had periods where it would get warm and then it'd cool off. Then it'd get warm again, then it would cool off. It would go up and down. It's similar to football teams that have a winning hot streak. Then all of a sudden they couldn't buy a game. Same way with wrestling. That's why the booker has to watch the reaction of the crowd. And even if the crowd is, say, not what he wants it to be, he still got to listen to how certain talents affect that crowd. So if they affect that crowd like that, maybe if there's more of them, you might get something out of it. Booking is, I talked about a little earlier, booking is not easy. A lot of it's guessing and you just have a hunch. So
yeah, 1995 was just a dreadful year for making money, even though there was a lot of talent.
I was there.
What's the least you ever made in 1995 in the WWF? Because I spoke to Shane Douglas not too long ago. He said for one match he got paid against Razor Ramon $55.
$55.
Is what he said.
That's hard to believe, but I didn't make a lot. You couldn't make $55 because they had a guarantee of at least, I think, either it's $150 or $200 a night. They did have that, and you could tell what you could get draws. You ever heard this?
Yeah. They
would go and get draws, and when that line was pretty long, that nobody was making any money.
Explain what a draw is for people who don't.
A draw is you get your money beforehand. It's like expense money.
It's like an advance on your pay.
Yeah, you go and you say, hey, and it topped out at $200. So you're going to get $200 to pay your hotel bill, to eat, to rent a car, to buy gas. That was to pay your basic expenses and get you through it. So you could go out there and you didn't have any money in the bank. You may be out there stranded and calling the office and, hey, send me some money. But yeah, 95 was this business is not, people on TV see, 10,000, 12,000 fans in the stands and how much money these guys are making. Same way then. but they were paid totally different. The reason the guys make so much money now is because they have TV money coming in and they have merchandise money coming in. So all that is fed back to the talent. And yeah, they do make money. They do make money now. Even the guys who are bitching that they're on the low end, they're making $500,000. Even the low end, not the NXT guys. But I don't know what is a starting salary. Starting salary can be anything they want it to be.
I think the absolute lowest probably on the main roster, you'd be looking at 150 or 2, maybe 250 as a starting salary, which sounds really terrible. Right. Which I'm saying it like that, but that's still a huge amount of money.
That's what they call the downside.
Yeah,
that's the least you can make. So, but you think 250,000? What? It's $5,000 a week, right or not? That's what it is. It's around $5,000 a week. And how many guys working regular jobs would say, "Hell, I'll do that for $5,000 a week"? That's $900 a day or whatever. Some of them might not be making $900 a week or less. But what Shane Douglas was talking about, and he said he made $55, he could have. Let me tell you what I think what he could have made. He could have made $60, and they took $5 off for a state wrestling license. And then they took his draw out of that. I mean, say you make $260. Well, you got $200 the night of the show, and then he got $60 for the what was left over. Then they took $5 out for his state wrestling license, and that always pissed me off. I went, why doesn't WWE pay for the licenses at least? It's like, I don't know, $30 for 3 or 4 or 5, 6 guys to get licenses. I mean, I don't. They used to have these state regulators come around who would say, "Oh, you can't do this and you can't do that." And they were just there to collect the taxes. That's all they were there for. I mean, if you got hurt, the state wasn't going to help you. You were on your own. And when we says an independent contractor in the WWE back in the mid-90s, it was a tough road, as they say down south, a tough road to hoe. And it wasn't all big lights and music when you worked there.
Yeah. Shane also said that over the course of 4 months after expenses, he sent home $1,600. That was all. That's all that he made after expenses, road expenses, and stuff.
Well, I'm not doubting him, because I remember at that time it was common knowledge. Nobody was making any money at all.